Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. And I have my super special guest in the building. Hey, Tangie.
Hey.
You know, I was so geeked when I got your phone call last week because I was like, oh, snap, she's in the city. If you are in the city long enough, I would love to have you on the show. I need people to understand how dope you are.
I just wanted to be in the audience to support.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show up and clap. But you said, let's jump on the mic, and I'm down for that.
I don't play them games. If you in the city, you ain't coming through to clap and watch nothing. Come sit on this side of the table, man. Let people know, you know, because we in Atlanta, in the city, in the state itself of Georgia, isn't legal. You know what I'm saying? It's not legal like that. We're barely legal medical. You know what I mean? So whenever we have actual cannabis activists, we have real people who I get the chance to know through this industry come through the city, I'd love to have them on here and speak to our audience.
Well, I am here and I appreciate you. I see what you're doing from afar.
Thank you.
And I've always supported since day one.
Yes,
so
you have.
Keep going,
yes,
keep grinding. I love it.
Yes, you have. And it's always powerful to have sisters who support you. So, but I do have a chance to know you. Everybody might not have a chance to know you. So for those who don't know, let them know who you are.
Well, okay, so my name is Tanganyika. I am the CEO of Jane Green, and I specialize in international cannabis with a focus on tourism.
Yeah.
And so I do cannabis destination experiences where we curate events around the consumption, cultivation, or education of the cannabis plant.
Yo, that sounds dope as shit. I don't know what else to say. That sounds dope as shit. So you work in the cannabis tourism space,
I
man,
do.
which is actually something that's growing, and we're actually watching it grow in a place. I'm shocked it took so long to grow in, and we'll get to that in a minute. Talk to me about what got you into that part of the cannabis space. Like, what made you jump into the tourism part?
Absolutely. So I'm in LA, so I'm very bi-coastal. So I'm in SoCal, and I was really involved heavily in that market, especially trying to get a license and, you know, equity deal and all that program and stuff like that. And I was going to every supervisor board meeting, every tax meeting, every meeting they had, right? Yeah. Then I read the legislation. I was like, oh, okay. So they about to get us. I see what's happening. I see what's happening. I can see right through all that Maybelline. So
and when you see through it, don't it start making you be like,
it hurt. It hurt so bad. And I immediately just knew what it was. I knew what it's going to be. And I was like, you know what, y'all got it. I'm not trying to fight over this. At the exact same time, my co-producer, I have many hats, but I also graduated from the Art Institute of Washington. So I went out to California originally for film or cannabis. So one of my co-producers, I ended up doing a documentary called The Secret Life of Trimmers.
Yes.
And my co-producer, Keiko, she got invited in on an opportunity at a resort in Jamaica, and she said, I have the perfect person that I want to bring in on this, and she brought me in on the team.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So now you are where you are right now, which is diving into the tourism space, and definitely when it comes to Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so talk about, you know, so we found out how you got to Jamaica. Jamaica itself has been like, you know, crazy when you think about how far they went, because it's almost like mirroring America. You know what I mean? Like how they drew down on the rosters, how they basically
were persecuted,
killed, criminalized the
tortured.
plant, even though you thought it might have been legal. Criminalize it, and then, you know, like we're watching across the world, when you see that a couple of dollars can be made, then lights turn on. You know what I'm saying? And you start getting into that money, but the people who actually, you know, went through the whole the pains of everything don't necessarily benefit from it. Jamaica has a chance to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to not necessarily growing the plant, but thanks to what you can host around the plant, which is the tourism part.
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
So, yes. I mean, that's just throughout the diaspora, right? We have an opportunity here. So a lot of people might not get it right now, and that's where you're in on the beginning part of something. And cannabis tourism is no different from wine or beer tourism. So you go to Napa Valley, you go to Oktoberfest in Germany. Those are the exact same scenarios. I'm not reinventing the wheel, and we're not doing that. What we're doing is creating a safe space for you to come on vacation or on your business trip, and we're catering to you and making sure all your cannabis consumption needs are met. Yeah. These are actual patients. And it's not just flower that they're smoking. This is tinctures, these are topicals, these are pain patches. This is things that they need, that they use on a daily basis, that they know they can't fly with. They know they are getting in trouble. They have a language barrier when they get to the, country that they're visiting. So we eliminate all of those problems for them.
That's what's up. And that's definitely a need, because say if you're visiting Atlanta and you were trying to consume, there's ways you can, but there's also, ways you can get yourself in a whole lot of trouble.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's good that you have this lane that you're helping people navigate through. when it comes to dealing with the tourism side, though, like what are some of the ups and downs? You know, because I know I would think one of them would be people just being wary of even going through somebody like that.
Absolutely, it's a lot of skepticism, only because, mainly because it's new.
Yeah.
People don't know about it, and most people are focused on California and Colorado right now.
Course, yeah.
I'm asking you to come outside the country. I'm asking you to put a passport.
I'm asking you to come to Jamaica.
Stamp on it. Exactly.
Come to Jamaica,
to come
man.
to Jamaica, and people already have their stigmas or their ideas about Jamaica in itself.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
That are false, mind you. And then besides that, they also have is it the right time? Is it something that I need to focus on right now? And it's really early in the game. So for all those reasons, they might not be on board with it just yet. But that's my job, to tell them, to show them, and create a market they didn't know existed.
That's awesome. All right, so if I was planning, let's say I'm planning to go on a trip. I want to go to Jamaica. My birthday is December 4th. I want to go down there for then. What would you think? How could you plan a package around me? Like, what would be a typical package you help a person prepare for?
Okay, so birthday celebrations are lit. Like, I'm here for those.
Thank you.
I am here for the birthday turn up.
Yeah.
So are you coming with friends or are you coming with your boo? So that matters, right? Is it a group trip or is it a one-on-one thing with you and your friends? You could be on a solo trip. You could come by yourself. So
trouble.
Exactly.
Trouble.
Exactly. So you come down to Jamaica, and mind you, Jamaica's not the only place. We have partnerships in Canada. We're expanding to Uruguay next year, Spain. There's other places that we're going. We're just setting up the ball in Jamaica throughout the diaspora. We got you.
Let me tell you, my wife watching right now, and I'm pretty sure she already like, yo, let's go to Spain.
I'm so excited.
Let's go to Spain right now.
So you just start with the number of people. So say it's like 2 people. You want to go for a week, right? So everything's included except airfare. You come, we pick you up from the airport. You decide whether you want a vape pen, you want an edible, you want a blunt roll, you want a joint. You decide, you tell us, we ask you some preliminary questions in the beginning. You get to the resort. We have, upon arrival, 6 strains for you to try when you check into your room. So we have the on-site cultivation. You can see where your flower came from that's in your room waiting for you when you open the door.
Yo, that's hospitality, man. That's hospitality.
A welcome basket for you. You can, we have infused dinner, infused massage, infused yoga. We do holistic retreats. We do wedding retreats. We do corporate retreats. So we have different packages that you can choose.
That's awesome, man. So I love the fact you actually jumped on a question I was going to ask as far as expansion. So we're going to see you in Uruguay and we're going to see you in Spain. That is so dope, man.
The world is changing, and we are the ones, the United States, when I say we're the ones that went around the world and told them to make this illegal. And they didn't want to do this, but they listened to us. And now we're starting to change our mind on it. Like, what the hell, though? Like, what's good, though? So now people are starting to wake up, and that's where you're starting to see the Canada with the federal legalization. And that's the first G7 country to do it. That's a major deal. And if you don't know what G7 means, that's the top 7, a group of 7 countries with the top 7 gross domestic product, GDP in the world. So
think of a mob and think of the 5 families.
That part.
they the 7 families.
That part. Yeah. So by them coming on board, we're not the type to just sit around and let somebody outshine us for too long, especially with, the people that we have in power. So it's only a matter of time before federal legalization comes down. So you just have to position yourself accordingly. That's
why. Well, I'm glad how do you feel about federal legalization? Because I actually get scared about it sometimes. You know what I mean? Because when I say nervous, I say scared about it, it's because I feel like what will come with that. When you're already in a situation where you're watching John Boehners of the world get involved, and Roger Stone is allowed to even be, just walking around, or even Gene Simmons. Like, I could walk down and see a Gene Simmons out here, somebody who is openly against cannabis, now saying, I'll take a couple of dollars. I feel like when you get to legalization part, we're going to really see that in times 10. You know what I mean? That's what scares me. Like, how do you feel when you hear legalization?
You absolutely should be scared. I'm not scared because I have intellectual property. I know where my lane is, and I just stay in it. You can't know what I know. You don't know what I know, so you're going to have to pay me for what I know. So run me that. But other than that, growers, there are growers. And you see the model happening in California. You see growers being put out of business right now. They are struggling, okay? And black people are 1% of the cultivators and dispensary owners in the entire industry as of right now. That's only going to get smaller when big money comes into this. You know, so again, it is about positioning yourself accordingly. I literally went this weekend to the Jamaican Diaspora USA Leadership Summit, right? And it was incredible, but it blew my mind that cannabis wasn't one of the conversations that they had at all. And I said, guys, no matter how you feel about this is a $1 trillion industry. You can't afford to ignore this. 39 plus states are medical, 9 are recreational. The Uruguay, Canada, Spain, you can't afford to ignore this.
No.
People are making decisions for Jamaica right now without your permission, without your consent, without your input. So you might want to, and by the end of the conference, I am proud to say that they put that on the agenda. We talking about cannabis throughout the diaspora. That's what we doing.
Let me tell you something, how proud I am that you did that. Because I feel like, more importantly, you know, we definitely need to be part of this conversation. And I see way too many people, black people, you know what I'm saying? Just ignoring the conversation,
right.
You know, because you don't feel like talking about it, or you might not be a smoker. Like, that's why another reason why I bring people who don't smoke onto a show that has smokers openly.
Right.
Don't fear people who smoke. Like, it's not like, you know, anybody gonna come and bite you or nothing like that. But I feel like we often use them things to not involve ourselves, you know? So I feel like, thank you for stepping up there and making them have this conversation.
Absolutely. And again, I just think back to I just think ahead, should I say, 50 years from now, we are going to look ridiculous. We are going to look, our children's children are going to think we're crazy. The way we treated this plant and the way we treated human beings who consume this plant and how we judged and I'm okay with you not consuming. I'm okay with you not touching it or you not having information about it. What I'm not okay with is you impeding on my right to do so. That's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. So educate yourself. And that's what it really boils down to. And it's so simple to me. It's literally go back in history. Where did we come from? How did we get here? Who was in charge then? What did they say? What were their thoughts? It's literally just why. Keep asking why, and you'll come up with the answer, I promise you.
Yeah, I promise you that as well, man. So I love the fact that you're into the tourism lane. I like people doing shit, excuse me. Well, yeah, we swear. I like people doing shit that's not always, you know, a dispensary, a grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, think out the box.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Think out the box. Do you feel like, though, and looking at Jamaica opening up to tourism as far as when it comes to cannabis, do you feel like that could influence other places to jump on board, you say?
It's already influenced places. The entire Caribbean community just recently met, CARICOM met, and they have all decided to legalize cannabis now.
I'm glad, you know, because I'm personally thinking when I first said that, the first thing that popped in my head was actually Haiti, you know, and I'm looking around at Haiti, and you're talking about a country that was freed by slaves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate the treatment I see that they get. But that's another thing that could actually help them. And even if you don't talk about green, you can talk about hemp, you know, but they definitely have soil that you can grow. There's a reason why they've been plundered for so long. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see them trickle down into that. But it's great that they're having this conversation with the Caribbean countries.
Absolutely. And I just think that this is a conversation. Again, we can't afford to ignore this, especially the Caribbean community, especially the ones that have been affected by this so much. You know, that's us. That's our people. That is literally, you know, and to think that we could miss out on this $1 trillion industry because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of trust, because of lack of information. It hurts my soul. So, but I know if I stop and educate everybody else, I'm gonna miss out. So I got to get ahead. Like, I just got to go, and then I'm gonna be there when y'all get there.
You got to move your feet and give an example, which is what you are doing right now. So what's next for you? Like, what else is spinning off? Because I know, again, you're gonna pull off that hat and show me another hat in a minute.
Absolutely. I mean, things are moving. I'm an Amazon best-selling author, so the book came out. So we're just continuously to promote that.
Wait. The book is called. Don't just say I'm an Amazon best author and then roll with that. What's the name of this book?
I know, right? So it's called The Blind Spot. My chapter is called The Power in Green Flowers, and everything I do is about cannabis. Literally, I am so proud of the work that I'm doing, and you cannot shut me up about this. And so it's an anthology. It's myself and 15 other authors. Okay. We told our personal story, and my chapter again was The Power in Green Flowers, and I talked about how, you know, I went to Iraq. I did 2 tours in Iraq, and I literally was on a bunker, and I was just looking out, and there's mortars coming in, and things are being blown up, and I got my flak and Kevlar on. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? What the hell happened in my life as a cheerleader?
Do I want a Camaro that bad?
What
like, you know what I'm saying?
So my boy was smoking a J next to me. I was like, let me hit that. And I promise you, it changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed everything. And I talk about it in that book.
That's what's up, man. You know, and I do know that past about you being a veteran. I was going to ask, you know, today my state, Massachusetts, I'm from Boston. My state, Massachusetts.
Big up, Massachusetts.
Officially went recreational.
Yes, they did.
And one of the first 2 people to purchase cannabis were veterans.
Yeah, they were.
How did you feel about that?
I was so proud. I'm always proud of my veterans. Big up to them because I know they need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you something I heard.
Yeah.
Like, I was given those medications that couldn't get me out the bed every day. I was a zombie. I couldn't eat. I couldn't function with my family. I was stuck, like, just trying to get some sleep because my PTSD came in the form of nightmares. So I died in my sleep every night violently. I mean, can you imagine how that feels to drown and be hung and beheaded,
like
and,
movie,
you know,
movie
like movie shit. But you,
yeah,
you
but
know.
you, yeah.
So it got to the point where I didn't even want to lay down. Like, I broke out just looking at a bed. Come to find out, I remembered that time on the bunker in Iraq. I had got a good night's rest that night. I was like, let me try that shit again. Let me see if that worked. And it did.
Good.
So I know it works. I know it's brought me a totally different quality of life that I wouldn't have if I was on the opiates that the VA prescribed me. So for them to be able to get it, and they were the first ones in line, and y'all, that's right, goddammit, who else supposed to get it? Yeah.
Proud of them. Yeah, I was proud of them. And there's more happening around veterans right now in cannabis. I was also reading earlier today about the Department of Veteran Affairs policy for Medicinal Cannabis Use Act, which would actually help not necessarily, I was about to say take the stigma out, but actually would more allow them to actually consume cannabis in a way that would, I guess, kick them. I don't want to missay that, but it doesn't kick them off their insurance or
right.
doesn't actually, you know, interfere in that way.
We have a couple different bills out there. Veterans Canna Coalition is really fighting in DC. They're one of our allied veteran groups that are really out there. They just partnered with me on the Cannabis Veterans Ball November 10th, which was really awesome. But they are fighting in DC for HR 5520, which is a bill that will allow the VA to finally do research on cannabis. They always have these excuses. We can't do research because it's federally legal, and then it's federally legal because we won't have enough research. So they all just got, you know what I'm saying? It's just convenient, you know, for them to literally juggle those 2 excuses. So this will just cut that bullshit to the side, and this will say, okay, based on this bill, you are authorized as the Secretary of the VA to research cannabis and see how it affects veterans. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it what? So it's stalled right now. I try not to touch that because it's a sensitive topic for me because I'm prior military, because I know the games they play, because I know the background. Yeah. It's just like, I try to stay out of this. If you believe, I believe. You know what I'm saying?
You like it, I love it.
I'm just be honest with it, but like I've seen them put up so much hope and faith, and then it just, you know. So I'll wait till it passes, then you bring me back on.
All right, man. Well, you know, I also know you got another hat too that I do want to talk to you about one day.
What?
Oh, I saw you dancing on.
The pole.
Girl, you done took a trophy.
Fitness,
we ain't talking about on the pole. We talking about sport.
I am a pole
we talking about for
champion.
sport. Yeah.
I am. I do pole fitness, and I've done 2 competitions, and I placed in both of them. And I'm the first cannabis athlete to be sponsored by.
So you just racking up first. I'm
racking up the first now. But yeah, like I actually got sponsored for my last competition. So that was nice.
And the reason I wanted to ask you about that, because that was such a random thing to see. You know what I'm saying? Because to meet you and to get to know you, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Again, she has many, many hats. Didn't see that hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where did that come from?
I literally hate working out in a gym.
Okay.
Like, I hate traditional, like, because the military, that ruined it for me. 5 a.m., all that stuff. I don't do that. So I like running. So I had to find something that was still, you know, fun, and it was active, and it made me feel good and sensual and stuff like that. And so pole fitness is like dope. It covers all of that. And it used to be something I was really like, I didn't talk about because I'm in the cannabis industry. I got locks. I'm black. I'm doing a lot.
You're doing a lot.
And you add pole. You had posed to that. Like, come on, Tangie. Like, come on. Like, you know? But I'm like, but I really realized they can't do the shit I do, though. Like, you legit do not have, you have to have upper body strength.
Yeah,
you have to have core strength. You have to, we are real athletes. And I bet you it'd be in the Olympics before you know it, because it really is a competitive sport. And so to be able to compete, it was really dope.
Yeah, I'd love to see that in the Olympics. Like Summer Olympics polls, like fitness polls.
You heard it here first. Watch. Bet it come out.
Girl, but I was definitely proud of seeing that. I was like, look at little Tangie, yo, getting up in the pole, spinning all around and shit. I was like, damn, so like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Finding alternatives to everything, man.
Absolutely. And natural alternatives. And so I have an organization called Marine Queens, and my business partner, she does fitness. My other one does massage therapy, and I do cannabis education. So all of us, and our umbrella is natural alternatives. So we just, that's all we're about. It's like finding things that work for us as veterans based on, you know, the residuals of serving that we suffer from.
Word. You're a solid one. I like you. I always do, man. I always do. I love your energy. And when I'm ready to plan that trip to Jamaica, I know who to go with.
You better come through. You better call me.
You already know, man. So before we fade out of here, let people know how they could contact you if they do want to learn about the services. Definitely if they want to learn how to take a trip, a safe trip, you know, to different places like Jamaica, like Uruguay, like Spain. So let them know.
Absolutely. So my website is www.jane.green, and that's JAYN.GREEN. It's not .com. It's not, I'm special. I did my own thing. .green. I pay extra, so put it in. Pay extra for that domain, okay? Jane.green, okay?
Say it right. Say it with your chest.
That's right.
Say it with your chest.
So yeah, you can find me on all social media, _Jane Green, JAYNGREEN, and yeah, hit me up.
Thank you for coming through tonight.
I appreciate you so much. And again, my love for you guys is super real. I appreciate you for having me on here.
No doubt, man. And that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation.